Hello? Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to join this talk. I will give you a project update about the OpenStack Valence. We are talking too much about the composable infrastructure. As we know, software, we can compose the different open project together to build your own infrastructure. And regarding the hardware, we also have the technology to help us to compose them together. So that is why the Valence project come out. My name is Shu Quan from 99 Cloud, and we also have the Lin Yang here. He is from Intel. Will help me to present you this talk. So I have a quick recap about the OpenStack Valence. Valence is an OpenStack Big 10 project announced on Barcelona Summit last year. It is a collection of a software which helps us to manage the Intel RSD resources and any other Redfish compatible resources. So the Valence consists of the Valence API and Valence client and some plugins to integrate with the other OpenStack projects such as Ironic and Horizon, etc. And it also has a basic GUI to help you to operate the RSD resources. So the architecture is on the right. You can see the user can use the web GUI or command line to talk to the API controller, and it will send the command through the Redfish RESTful API to the RSD controller and help you to compose the RSD resources and then return to the Valence. And then the Valence can hand over the resources to the OpenStack cloud, such as bare metal, to the Ironic to manage them. So in the last year, we finished the basic framework of the Valence, including the Valence API, Valence server, and the reference GUI. So at this Pike cycle, and in the future, we are planning to implement the RSD 2.1 API. And with the RSD 2.1 version, we have the following capabilities, such as NVMe pooling over PCIe switch. You can call an API, make an API call to plug different NVMe disk to the bare metal. And we can also enable the iSCSI target authentication mechanism in the when you calling the attach command. Also, we can handle the PCIe switch when you're talking to the PMC controller. The last but not least, we are passed through the performance test suite of the Intel RSD 2.1 version testing. So it's compatible with many RSD hardware provided by different vendors. So with these new features, we have the following new test case can be fulfilled. The first one is you can auto deploy by composing different hardware and leverage Cola or triple such kind of deployment tools to deploy your undercloud. And also you can add different the hardware into the undercloud very quickly by composing new bare metal node. The second scenario is we can use the SUSE library provided in the Ironic to elastically provide the bare metal from the RSD by calling the Valence API. The third scenario is that we can use the NVMe attach function to dynamic attach the NVMe storage to the bare metal, just like you attach the disk in the VM. So that is the new feature provided by the new Valence. So the next step, we are going to implement the new features in the Valence. We will extend our port management framework. We will provide multiple port management controller so that you can add the multiple port management, and the Valence will help you to schedule between them. Also, just as I mentioned before, you can attach and detach the NVMe to the composed node. And we also will extend the Ironic library, SUSE library to help you to manage the Redfish compatible hardware. We are planning to add a plugin in the OpenStack client so that the customer or user, they can directly use the OpenStack client to talk with the RSD API. They don't need to pass through the Valence server. Give our user more flexible choice to talk with the RSD. So the next, I will show you a simple demo on how to integrate the RSD in your OpenStack distribution and manage the RSD resources. So this is a distribution developed by 99 Cloud. We integrate the Valence and into our Horizon. And you can see, first of all, we will create a pod manager in the our OpenStack, and it will require you to input the URL, username, and password, such credential in the system. And you can manage the pod manager and see the resources the pod manager has. And you can check the number of composed nodes and number of NVMe storage inside this pod manager. First of all, we have to compose one node. You input the number of CPU and capacity of the memory. It will pass the information to the Valence, and Valence will help to compose a node for us, and we will then hand over the node to the Ironic. When the Ironic take over the node, you can use it just as the normal instance in the OpenStack. We can create an instance and select the select an OS, and the Ironic will help us to deploy the OS in the bare metal node composed by the Valence. And we can log into the node and see how many NVMe storage already attached into the node. And then we will going to attach one additional NVMe node into the composed node. We can select multiple NVMe storage. You can attach the NVMe storage just like you use the use Cinder to attach node in a VM. It's very convenient when we are talking. Use the RSD 2.1 version API, and we can, after the attachment, we can mount the SSD to the OS, and you can check the number of the disk attached to the bare metal. When you finish some operation, you can also detach it from the bare metal and release the resources. Okay, that's all. Do you guys have any other questions? Okay, thank you.